Well, it hit the ground pretty much right where we hoped it would. So it's a red oak. You can see it's a double stem. I cut this one off before I cut that one. That's why the stump's so high. It's because there's just a double stem and it flared out real bad, so there's really no gain by going any lower. So whenever I cut a high stump like that, I do a Humboldt, where you cut your notch on the bottom and then flat cut the top, just so I don't waste any of the trunk, and I'm not cutting that anyway, so that's how I did that. Then I also bored out the middle from the face. You can see here I had some hold here and I had some hold here. That's how I did it. There's a million ways to cut down a tree. I'm not telling you how to cut down your trees. You can tell me how you cut down your trees, but I'm gonna do it how I do it anyway. So you can see there's really no pull. I'll trim this off and cut my flares off, but there's no pull, so we didn't ruin or lose any of the log. It's a nice big straight one. There's really no taper in it because we cut off the swell. My first log's right here. It's a 23 footer, and then up to the crotch there, we've got 26 feet right to the crotch, so it was the perfect length for what we were looking for. If you saw when I dropped it, this one tree came down with it, but I prepped it. I notched it and back cut it, so that when the tree hit it, it would just fall over with it instead of blowing up on the way down. That way it's on the ground safer and easier. You can see it's an ugly tree anyway. It's got this frost crack in it, suckers in it. Just all the way around an ugly tree. So it's not like it hurt anything getting it on the ground either. But that's how I did that. So yeah, now I'm gonna trim her up, cut her up, and get the horses. Just getting back to the horses here. I've got the tongue of the log cart, they're real heavy. I've got it hooked up to a lead rope here so that all the weight is off their necks. So I'll just unhook it and then head off down the road. But I'm gonna need both hands. We got it unhooked. Back. Ha. Step. Ha. 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 Oh, Jean. G. 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 Low bridge. Ha. Ha. Pull them off here and hook up the chain. So normally you always try to hook from the butt end, down yonder. Just because it kind of pulls easier from the butt end because there's more weight there. So if you can hook it down there, then the weight's closer to the cart and you might be able to get the butt end off the ground. So you try to always hook from the butt end. At least I try to when I can. Got my chain wrapped around here. Again, when I can, I like to go underneath, then over, and then hook it on to my choker so that when I pull it down and leave it, it stays like that. If you did it the other way, the hook is heavier, so it slides down, then you get a big slack, and then when you go to hook up and pull away, it can slip off the end. So if you can, go underneath and over top with your hook, and then hook it on. And I hook it backwards, so whenever I pull in the tree this way, it has no chance of coming out the slip. And this side down here, the butt is past the maple tree, so if I tried to pull it, we could probably get it, but this is not too big of a log for them to pull anyway, so as far as we'll just hook on and pull it around and hook up to it. Back. Back. Sorry about that. Impatience of the baby horse. Wipe your off there. So when you're hooking, Piney, you always try to get the chain as tight as you can, and you don't really want to hook with your hand under the chain, because if they lurch forward like they have been doing there, it can crush your hand. So you always kind of want to hold it above the chain and push it in from above, so that when they lurch forward on you, your hand's above it so you can't get it crushed. So that's important. Back up. So we kind of lucked out here. There's a knoll. I don't know if you can see that, but it picked the front end of the log 8 inches off the ground. So now we're going to shorten the chain again. See all the slack? All that slack in it now. So now we've taken all that slack out. Now it's probably going to be quite a bit higher off the ground, which can put more weight on the wheels, which will make it easier for them to skid out. So that's a little uphill section. They like to run up it. I don't mind, I guess. So I kind of let them do what they want to do. I'm sure it's probably easier for them or something. So I kind of let them run up it. Good team. And there's our log. And yeah, we could pull both. This team could pull both of those logs out. They would be fighting. So that would be a lot of weight for red oak. To pull out, what would that be? Almost 50 foot of wood. They could probably do it, but then they'd be all twitchy and blowing, and when you're in the woods all day like we are, I like to do smaller pulls. I feel like you can get more wood out at the end of your day, doing healthy hitches instead of maxing them out constantly because their muscles get twitchy and burned out. Now again, there's different strategies to it, and there are times I'll hitch them to both and pull out a heavy load and make them fight for it. But this time I've still got 3 more pulls to do between that and the other trees, so I'm just gonna let them pull smaller loads. And Piney here, she's new, it's her first year in the woods, so I don't really want to overdo her either. And all 3 of them are also bred, so they're expecting the spring, so I don't really want to have an accident or overwork them because we want their babies to come out healthy and happy. So for me, we still get a lot out of day and we have fun as we're doing it. Yep. Good team. I'm just gonna go put the camera up here so it's a little more fun, get some different angles. Of course, you could tell the horse could see you, knew the camera wasn't normal, and then the chain nicked it and bounced it over. Got it knocked up here. I'll unhook her and you can see it drop when I trip it. I'm going to step the horses over so I can roll the log. G. Ooh, good team. Good girls. Oh, those are good girls. So we got that log rolled tight so my landing's neat, so I can fit as many logs as I can before a log truck shows up. G, 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 barb scope, G, step, G. G. Ha. 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 So I use G and Ha, pretty standard across all driving platforms. That's just kind of what people use. G is right, Ha's left. It works. Then I'll use step. So if I say step G or step Ha, that's for them to kind of step in place. So they're turning in place. So if we're trying to turn on a dime and back up to a log or something, I'll use step either direction. I use easy. Easy is my calm down, my slow a little bit. Yeah, I suppose that's my easy. And then I use, whoa. Whoa is my stop. I click kiss as my start walking. I would use get up to trot, but we don't really trot in logging very much. And back for backing up. Ha. If I yell hey, that's kind of my, if one of them isn't paying attention to me and I need them to listen to me, I'll yell hey. It's my attention getter. If one of them being a brat or not listening, I'll yell hey, and they kind of look their ears back at me and know they should listen to me. Gee. That might be all. That's how I drive. My lines, as you can see, I've got two different color lines. So my right line is my green line for G, and my other line is black. I like that because in the woods, I use it all the time, but especially in the woods, directions really matter. And if the horses aren't listening or they start moving before you get on the back, then you just grab a hold of the lines, and you need to know which one to pull. Having color-coded lines makes it really simple to know which line to pull on to get them to turn really quick, one direction or the other. So again, it's not like it's a necessity or that important, but I just like it, so that's what I do. See? Clearly you could use any color you want. It's not like you have to use green and black. But it's what I do. That one will be a fun one someday to cut and pull out, maybe later today. Ha, 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 ha. Easy, ha. G, G. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Driver error, that there's their waiting pool where they wait between trees. So they wanted to go back to their waiting pool. G, they know where it's at. G, and they know how to get to it. So that's where they wanted to go. And I wasn't ahead of the game to catch them in time to turn them back the other way. Use the window, duck under the branches, try not to lose your hat. Ha. So I also hold my lines, not all the time, but I tend to hold them with my left one underneath my pointer finger, and then the right one either between my pinky or underneath it, like so. And if I need to turn left or right, I just pull hard with my finger in to the left, or I close my right side of my hand and let my other one loose and pull with the right hand. So you can see it tensions up that side or it tensions up this side. So if I'm just like cruising, that's how I drive. It gives me enough control that I can do it, or I can kind of release with one and pull hard, not like not release, but like let all the slack out so I can really pull. And then all you have to do is, you know, put them between your knees and re-grab, or grab with both hands and reset. Basically just to get back a hold of it. Again, that's how I do it. I don't really care how you do it. It works for me and my horses. If they're, you know, hot and kind of crazy, I probably won't hold them like that, but most of my horses are pretty calm and respectable, so they let me kind of drive them pretty easily. As you can tell from no bit in said mouth, just click to the halter. It works. So I won't do it in every situation, but I've got lots of horses that don't mind it. More locks.